Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Omar, and this is Turnabout Storyteller in my first ever playthrough of Spirit of Justice. I love these animations so much. What the hell are we doing now? I mean, someone's gonna die, right?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What time is it? It's 9, 10.
Huh? Such a sinister way of starting. Whoa. Shisho's dead? No. Do you think he did it? Oh no, if he did, then what do we do? What? Hey, pull yourself together. Don't worry. I have an idea. What's the idea? What the? I mean, like, starting off with the death is not uncommon. It's just like man in his noodles. Starting off with a death and... Oh, we're back here. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking. May 13th, 9:45 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby. Number 6. Yeah, we're not strangers to death. Death's happening at the start of the scene. That was just such like a sinister way of presenting it. Right? Like having him show up behind him like this silhouette and then like killing this guy in his noodles, in his snack. And he seems so happy and jolly. I kind of thought we'd come back here, but I didn't know for sure. I was thinking that they might go back and forth because this is the Apollo Justice trilogy, right? What the heck? Oh, the Theta. Who brings the defendant to his own trial late? Plus, the request was so last minute I didn't even have a chance to talk with my client. So Athena's defending someone now. He's late. He's late for a very important date. My name is Athena Sykes. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how, I'm a fully competent defender of the Wright Anything Agency. Hell yeah. Though I wish my client would show up already. The trial's about to start. It appears you just made it in time. Where have you been? The trial's about to start, Simon. No way. Right now? Simon! Oh my god. No freaking way. I heard the name Simon and I was like, wait, who? And I was like, oh, Simon Blackwell. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I'm like nearly lightheaded about this. What a way to have it. They love doing this in Ace Attorney, just having a character return like this. His baldness can wait. Who's his baldness? Look at the smile. There's no way he'd wait for me. And besides, why would I want to start off on the wrong foot with him right out of the gate? Is she taking a trial here? Dealing with such matters is a part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, covering for your latest is not. Still but the rank amateur, I see. Oh my god, Blackwell. That's... Out of every start to this trial, or whatever we're doing, I wasn't expecting to see Blackwell again. Because I feel like it's not uncommon to have characters show up, and it's always an amazing moment, like when Edward shows up in a trial, or a character, any character from the past shows up to a trial, it's like, oh my god, this is incredible. Right? But I wasn't expecting... I never expect it. I know, it always catches me off guard, and this time with Blackwell, it's caught me off guard once again. This is Simon Blackwell. He might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor and a psychology specialist. He and I go way back, and as for our shared specialization in psychology, we're both disciples of the same person, so to speak, but he's kind of my senior, I guess. So I love the way they do this kind of explanation of who they are as well. So it seems like Simon is supporting Athena here. But twisted sense of humor or no, I'd wish he'd stop treating me like a child all the time. He does like looking down on people a bit, doesn't he? So we're a Wright Dono and Justice Dono. Mr. Wright is abroad and Apollo is helping Trucy with her magic show. Oh, okay, so that's why. So Athena's here doing something. Again, she is a lawyer, right? Didn't I tell you? That what? So neither one of them are here? Leaving you to take on this alone? Yep. Ye gods. Oh no. Call Wright Dono back. It's not too late. Athena can do this. Whatever it is, Athena can do it. Well, not too late at all. He would only need to know how to teleport. Yeah, he's in a country far away. Very well. Then I will settle for Justice Dono. Go grab him by the horns. Do you not have faith in Athena? Or maybe he's just worried that she's doing this by herself, like, for the first time? Apollo's literally in the middle of a show, Simon. You may not want to admit it, but I've got what it takes to take on this case. I have so much faith in Athena. And this would be so good for her as well. Are you kidding me? She has to bite the bullet sometime. Not bite the bullet. Bite the bullet is dying. She has to grab the bull by the horns at some point. Just leave this to me and go watch from the gallery. As your defense derails in spectacular fashion, you have to have faith in Athena. Buddy, have faith in Athena. It's so crazy. It's so crazy how it fits like a glove as well. That's how good the characters are in this game. It's the same thing when Edgeworth comes back. When Edgeworth comes back, it's like such a shocking moment, and then it fits. It fits so perfectly within the story. You know, I say, win the heck out of this trial. I'll be okay. Promise. So wipe the look off your face already, will you? I like to believe that he is worried about her. I like to believe that he's not just looking down on her. I genuinely think that he wants her to, like, succeed. I don't think he's a bad person. I genuinely don't. Anyway, I take the guy behind you is... Yes, he's our client? He's asleep again? Bucky? Yeah! Bucky, do we know that name? What you got for, Simon? We know Bucky, right? No, we don't. Okay. Very cool design as well with the red cheeks. Look, well, it gets red on the eyes. Are you drunk? He's like holding some sort of item as well. You okay, Bucky? Who's this yellow chickadee? Yeller? She's a lawyer, such as it were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however. She is like new. She is new. She's a greenhorn, as they would say. Lawyer? She sure doesn't look it, does she? Is she like your fellow apprentice or something? Oh, God. Something like that. I've known her longer than I've known you. You could say we're bound to one another. I mean, true, at this stage. At this stage, after everything that they went through. Okay, well then, guess I better call her call her Athena. Miss Chickadee? Miss Chickadee. His hair physics are crazy good. Look at that. Look at the bounce in the hair. Crazy good hair physics. This is a really good design. Oh. Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to the wind of his own trial. He is being very rude. I agree. Just call her Athena. He's drunk. He's definitely drunk. I know we just met, but I'm ready to give him a piece of my mind. You give any... I support it. I support it. Do as you will. Just save it for after the trial. The smile on his face, too. He's like, yeah, I don't mind you freaking... you know, he's like, I don't mind you doing whatever you want to this person, but just wait until after we're done being professionals. Miss Chickadee. Don't call me that. Yeah, don't. If she doesn't want to be called it, don't call her that. How'd you... Simon here is an old friend of mine. How'd you do? Simon's an old friend of mine. Well, Athena and Simon also have a big history. They have a massive history. I'm the 4th generation head chef Wet Soba. Oh, Wet Soba? Wet Noodles Wet, number 4, Bucky Wet. Nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Wet. So you can pull himself together when he wants to. If only the trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Haven't been accused of murder that only occurred yesterday. So he's accused. So maybe it's the murder that happened with the noodles. Yeah. I'm afraid it's taking a toll on the poor boy. Every time I look up from the text and I see Simon Blackwell here, it's such a, like, again, it makes the world feel alive. Simon being here, like, is also cool because I guess it, like, relates back to Athena's past as well. And also, like, we get to see more Simon Blackwell, which I think as a character, he always, like, you know, was a frustrating thwart to our job. But also as a character, he's also someone I appreciate as a character, you know? So it's great to have him back. And again, obviously it makes the world feel so alive in Ace Attorney when they bring back characters like this. And you happen to be there at the theater where it all happened too, right? They say they found Rakugu's storyteller murdered in his dressing room. So that's the name of the person who died. It's a Rakugu storyteller. Indeed. The victim, master storyteller Taifu Tornado, was a longtime patron of Wet Soba. Master Tornado had been looking after Bucky. Ever since wet noodle number 3 passed away. I see, so the victim was kind of like a father to the defendant, huh? That stupid old fight. Like a father? No way. He was always like dishing. He always dishing my soba, like dissing his soba? Was it bad? Was your soba bad? How dare you speak ill of him? Running your mouth like that is why they suspect you of his murder in the first place. Now pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave. Yeah, the animations in this guy are great. But Simey, the police, none of them believes me. They won't listen. It looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. Don't worry, Mr. Webb. Everything's gonna be alright. And this is why Athena, I think, is gonna be fine. This one line here. This guy's rude. He's clearly irritating. He's clearly, like, you know, being very, like, rude about the person who died as well. It's gonna be, you know, he's showing up to court, like, looks inebriated, right? But Athena's like, I'm gonna do this for you. We're gonna do this. Because, again, that's what she's been taught by Phoenix. That's what she's learned from Apollo as well. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now. There you go. You know, and I believe in Athena. You mean, you believe me, ma'am? Of course. No matter what, I believe in you to the very end. And that's, again, Wright Anything Agency is about believing in your client. Gee whiz, Miss Chickadee. Athena. Her name's Athena. I need you to shape up, just like all the al dente noodles of yours. Yes, ma'am. My soba is the freshest. Oh, God. Oh, God. He's proper drunk, is he? Mr. Wet? Bucky, you great big pillock. Calling someone a pillock is great. So how exactly do you know this guy? I used to frequent Wet Soba, and still do, in fact. So I've known him since he was a lad. I feel like Black Will, like, you could put him in the room with, like, like, I'm pretty sure you could put him in the room with Obama, right? With former President Obama. And he'd be like, yeah, me and Obama go way back. Like, I feel like he goes way back with everybody. That's why his father and Master Tornado were always so good to me. I didn't know you like soba so much, Simon. I wouldn't expect one such as you who eats meat slapped between slabs of bread. You mean lunch meat sandwiches? They're delicious. To understand the delicate taste and the subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour. Dude, it's soba. Stop acting so high and mighty. Lunch meat sandwiches are great. Sometimes a ham sandwich with a bit of butter, not bad. Hey, that's just rude. It is rude. But I digress. I'm all about flavor and subtlety and stuff. I mean, here's the thing, like, I like flavorful food sometimes too, but like sometimes a lunch meat sandwich, sometimes a ham sandwich hits. Sometimes just a ham sandwich, a bologna sandwich, a corned beef sandwich, you know, a salami sandwich. Sometimes it just hits. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just works so well. If I let Wet Soba end like this, sorry, I'll never be able to face number 3 of Master Tornado in his next life. So he's talking about the honor of it too, which again is a very Blackwell thing. He's very dedicated to it, like the stuff when he gets dedicated to something, he gets super dedicated to it. I see. That's why he came to me. You want him to somebody that you could trust. I mean, he just literally said that he wanted Apollo or Phoenix. It was never my intention to ask you. Well, you got Athena now. And Athena's gonna win. Blackwell. Yeah. Athena, again, he's wrong to be rude, but you walked yourself into that one. You knew he picked Apollo and Phoenix before you. I'll show him I can handle it just fine. And yeah, this is what I'd love as well. For Athena to do this by herself without Apollo or Phoenix. And I'm sure maybe during the trial or maybe during the investigations, we might actually get like Apollo or back with us or whatever. But I don't think it's a terrible idea to have Athena at least start off a trial by herself. And if she does the whole trial by herself as well, that's incredible too. It's a great showcase of her character, or a new progression of her character. Well, I believe it's just about time. What? But we haven't even properly discussed the case yet. What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out. Don't say that. I'm just trembling with excitement of battle, that's all. Off, gents, let's do this? Oh yeah, the different languages she speaks. Come on, Mr. Wet. Get up off the floor. We got a case to win. Yes, Miss Chickadee, I'm gonna do my best. Oh my god, please. This is going to be a hard client to defend on the basis that he's already out of it. He's already not in this universe.
Wet soba. Wet soba.
Huh?
Wet soba. Wet soba. Wet soba.
Is that his phone? Yellow, 2 bowls of noodles. Sorry, sir. No can do. Kind of busy at the courthouse. They hung up? Wait, what? Did you get a butt dial? Let's do this? He's not going to do himself or his case any favors like this, Simon, 100%. Maybe we should let him go get some rest somewhere? Let me rest? Huh, maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. But I'm fresh like my shoba. You don't let shoba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seed fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodle. Oh, here he goes again. He's gonna be a problem for a different reason, right? He's blacked out. Oh boy, I just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are these 3 freshes of soba he was talking about? First, buckwheat seeds and groats are ground to make buckwheat flour. Then dough made with this flour is cut with a large rectangular knife into noodles. And finally, the buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so the soba is fresh when eaten. Oh, so that's what he meant. I wouldn't want to make any soba right now, though, that's for sure. Athena, there's no time for idle chatter. You need to get to the courtroom now. Just remember, as a prosecutor, I will be unable to lend you a hand. Is that like an actual rule that like a prosecutor can't just stand in with us, I guess? I guess it makes sense. So don't expect any help from my quarter. There you go, treat me like an incompetent. Can I say as well how like amazing it is that Blackwell went to the Wright Anything Agency for help, right? To defend someone he knew from his past. I think it's actually great. I think it's actually a great showcase of how much trust he has in the Wright Anything Agency. I mean, they beat him multiple times, you know? Apollo beat him multiple times. It makes sense. For information, I wasn't planning on asking for help anyway. Just you wait, Simon. I'll show you. And this is going to be perfect for Athena. Because if she can win here, win the respect to Simon, which I think he's being a bit playful a little bit. I think he's serious in a lot of elements, but I think he also like understands that this is like, you know, the smirky smile there is, there's a reason that's there. But I do think that this is going to be great for Athena's own self. It's not just doing it to prove to somebody else. I think it's going to be fantastic for her too. I think it's going to be so fantastic. Mr. Wright and Apollo may not be here, but that's all right. I can do this on my own 100%. Great outlook. Fantastic outlook to have. May 13th, 9:50 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 4. So we're just going right into the court case, by the way. Who's our opposition? Oh, it's Nayuta's... What? Whoa. Court is now in session for the trial of Bucky. What? Again, by the way, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm doubting Athena, but it's just like, we just had the trial with Nayuta back in Karain, so I wonder what the timeline is. But also, that's a big heavy, for a case without Apollo or Phoenix at your side, for your first one? If Athena wins this... Actually, you know what? Even if Athena doesn't win this, to go up against Nayuta and tell the tale as a lawyer and hold your ground, that's huge. That's huge. He's one of the toughest people we've ever faced in the courtroom. That's huge. Court is now in session. The trial of Bucky Wet. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Look at her, gal. Look at her. And I'm so excited to even play as Athena as well. The prosecution is fully prepared, Your Honor. What's this? No prayer this time, Prosecutor Samadi? That is correct, Your Honor. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them before in the lobby, so you could do that every single time. How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country? So is he going back and forth? Like he's going back after every trial? Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called upon me to handle this case, so he wanted you specifically. Besides, I have a debt to repay. And though my opponent is yet a callow thing, Callow. I have no qualms with sending her down to hell, but at least at the very, like, first of all, I know he's going to say this type of stuff anyway, right? Callow is, by the way, is just inexperienced, which, like, I guess would make sense, but it's just very insulting hearing it, you know, because if you said inexperienced, it's not as, like, insulting, but to Athena it might be. You can say sending her down to hell, that's fine. We're not in Karain. Athena's not dying. There's no Defense Culpability Act here. Oh, great. Okay, Athena, standing up already. If you have a score to settle, it's with Apollo, not me. Athena's like, I didn't do anything. But more importantly, I am not a callow thing. I'm a qualified, capable attorney. Tell him. Tell him. Then what is a yellow attire if not proof of your immaturity, you small spring cheek? You do not insult the jacket. You do not insult the yellow jacket. Now cease your shrill chirping. He's gonna be very rude to this whole. That's so rude. But that's him, Naruto. I think he uses a combination of being rude and efficient as a way of getting us off our game and like really like commanding the courtroom. He does it all the time. Now, Prosecutor Samadi. She's still only a teenager. Please go easy on her. She is actually isn't she like 19? She's still a teenager. She's very young. So 25, 20, 70, 29. Simon Blackwell's still a baby as well. He's still very young. You know what I mean? 29 is still very young. I'm saying that like I'm 50 or something, you know? Oh, you're still so young. What are you, a young chap? You know what I mean? Me and Simon Blackwell very, very close in age. Great. Now even the judge is giving me the kid treatment. The thing is, like, again, Athena's gonna be offended by this because Athena's trying to prove herself here. I feel like, you know what I mean? She even said she wants to show Simon how far she's come. But I think Athena's not she may not be experienced. She has trials under her belt. She does. But I think her last trial, she had Apollo by her side, right? I'm not mistaken by saying that. Shall we begin, Your Honor? Yes, I suppose we should. Then, Prosecutor Samadi, please give your opening statement. I'll show you what I can do. They'll be sorry they underestimated me. Yeah, this is something she has to prove. And I hope, like, while she's proving stuff to the other characters here, I hope there is an element of inside her that she wants to prove to herself what she can do too, because I think she's more than capable. I think it would make Phoenix and Apollo very proud too to see how far she's come. Because again, I don't think she's not a capable lawyer. I think she's fantastic. It's just anyone who has to do a trial without someone on their side is a huge deal in this game. It always is. Even Phoenix has people who supports him, you know? Even Apollo had Athena last time that helped out as well. So it's like, it's one of those situations where it's a huge deal. We just went straight into the trial as well, by the way, which feels very sudden, but I wonder if it's going to be a much shorter chapter then. But the only thing that worries me is we're going up against this guy. And while I have full faith in Athena, like, on your own against Nayuta is scary. It's a scary thing. Let the last rites of the victim commence. Because I think, again, it's not just Athena. If Apollo had to go up against Nayuta by himself, I'm a bit scared, right? Phoenix going up against Nayuta is already scary, but obviously like, he's like more experienced, so it's not as scary, but still, it's still a scary thing. Intentionally so, I think, as well. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th, at a storyteller theater called Kurukuru Te. The victim was the great master of tornado school, Rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name is Taifu Tornado. The scene of the murder was in the theater dressing room. We already have like a good layout. It is accessible via the staff entrance hallway and has an inner and outer sliding door. So the diagram on the backstage area showing the location of the stage, the dressing room, and the yard. Jesus, man, look at that. The fridge left open, by the way. This is, again, it's brutal because it's like, by the way, I never get used to seeing any of the, like, it's one of those things where, like, we've come desensitized to it in some way. I think it is turning to see, like, people dead. But, like, I think there's something so sad whenever they show, like, people dying and, like, you know, like, in a bowl of noodles is, like, he's having fun. He's relaxing, you know what I mean? And then he just dies, you know? It's very sad. The estimated time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. The cause of it is suffocation, though how the victim suffocated is yet to be determined. Did he put him in the bowl? But then, like, the bowl would have splashed all the food out of there, right? The autopsy found nothing unusual in his lungs or stomach, and there was no murder weapon. So that's like, to suffocate someone, to strangle someone or suffocate someone, that is huge. Because that is, you can't make it, I'm not saying that murder is impersonal, but like if you shoot someone, it's like that, it's sudden, it's quick. If you strangle someone or suffocate someone, that's direct. There's malice behind it. There's intent behind it. It takes time. It takes pressure. You know, you'll even if you have thoughts of backing out, if you know it's like, yeah, you're doing this crazy thing right now. To me, that shows some malice at the very least. There's no, what do they call, like, crimes of passion? There's no crime of passion here, you know, because if you're suffocating someone somehow, you know, you have plenty of time to stop doing that. I will now submit the incident report to the court. The crime took place in the theater dressing room. Master Tornado was found in his face thrust into a large soba bowl. Time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. The cause of death is suffocation. Prosecutor Samity, how can you name a Mr. Wet as the culprit when you don't know how the victim was killed, or even what? While it is true that the weapon and the precise method are yet unknown, the accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit the murder. I'll explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. I guess this means he has some kind of evidence to present? Now, would the accused care to plead his case? So we're doing... Oh no. Come think, where's the defendant, Miss Sykes? Sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid Mr. Wet isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary. That's not good. He needs to get here. Or at least, like, make the court date for a different day if he's unable to do something right now. Surely there's a lack of clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court. Starting off the wrong foot already. Mr. Wet is the head chief of the soba shop, frequented by the victim, the head chef, chief. On the day of the incident, Mr. Wet went to the theater at the victim's request. Typhoid Tornado was a connoisseur of soba, as you can see in these photographs. Yeah, he has like a lot of equipment there for boiling, for, you know, kneading the dough, for rolling the dough, the square machete thing. Yeah. He was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. Was that what he was doing? I thought he was eating. The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he himself made there. Liking soba is one thing, but making it in the theater dressing room is a bit much, none? I mean, if you have a passion, I guess. Master Tornado truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? For a man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable. And yet the accused had an ample motive. From the victim's safe, we discovered the deed. Oh no. So they're saying he was trying to take the shop for himself? Mr. Webb was to inherit the wet soba when he lost his father recently. However, it is believed the victim stole the shop's deed during the transfer process. Oh my god. The prosecution believes the accused killed the victim in order to get the deed back. So, Mr. Webb was going to inherit it. But he stole it. So he's saying that that it was Tornado who... That's his name, right? Tornado? Was the one who stole it. Yeah, he stole it off him. Okay. So that was his motive. And that would make sense as a motive. What soba deed added to the court record? A murder over the deed to a shop. That does sound like a plausible... It does. The only thing is, like, I can't judge a character by what he is now, because again, we've seen breakdowns before that have turned, like, them, you know, the characters that we've loved dearly, and characters that, like, we thought were actually very sweet into something a lot scarier. So I'm not exactly gonna say, oh, he doesn't seem like the type to do something so calculated and evil, because I feel like even in real life, how many times has like someone killed someone and everyone around them goes, they were lovely. They were so nice, you know? So it's hard to actually know. So that's what this case is about. Man, poor Athena not knowing the full breadth of the case beforehand. I wish Simon filled me in a little better. I genuinely think Simon, maybe I have too much faith in Simon, but I think like he wants to throw you to the wolves a little bit. I think he knows this will make you better. And even though like she deserves to know, by the way, it's not something that should be hidden from her, like the motive of this case and the information about this case. I do think that like in the end of this, even again, I'm saying this right now, I'm not saying that she's gonna lose, right? Because I feel like it makes it sound like I'm saying Athena's like not a good lawyer. I'm saying that like she's on her own against Nayuta. So even if she did lose, like what a opponent to learn from. You know what I mean? What a case to learn in. And like I said, I'm not bad-mouthing Athena because I think the same thing about Apollo. If Apollo was up against Nayuta by himself, without any help, because he got Athena's help last time with the widget and everything that's like this too. That's terrifying. It is terrifying. Nayuta, I think, is the most efficient lawyer we've ever been against. In terms of all of his information, even if we don't agree with it, and some of this is conjecture sometimes, he knows how to use the court to his advantage better than any other lawyer I've seen. I think the only other lawyer that I think I respect, I don't respect Nayuta, by the way, as much as I respect this person, because I don't think the word respect comes into it. I respect Edgeworth like a law. But my feelings about Nayuta are different. It's more just like, oh, that's good. You know what I mean? It's like separating yourself from the story and being like, it's like, I hate that he just did that, but oh my god, that was a really good decision on his part. Even if sometimes it's like, oh, that's just conjecture or that's wrong, because I do agree that that's definitely what it is sometimes. And the information is wrong. It's like, oh, he used that at the exact right time. That was really smart, you know? I could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat if he had. It's normal to be sweaty in this situation. This is a terrifying situation. Defense. From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details of this case. Well, you see... Dude, Nayuta, you're dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in the courtroom unprepared. I mean, it's not really Athena's fault. She's coming here with like as much information she was given. And also, don't like say something to someone and then interrupt them, Nayuta. Don't do that. You're an embarrassment. You do not say that. Putrid. Oh, come on. I mean, he's going to do this. This is what he does. He will insult us to bring us down. It's one of the ways he controls the courtroom. Oh, Athena, of course Athena's going to take offense to this. Don't take offense to this. Putrid egg yolk. Who cares what he says? The yellow jacket's iconic. Apollo's a red pepper. Now I'm a egg yolk. We've only just started and I've already been demoted from spring chick. I'm ready to call my eyewitness, Your Honor. We have an eyewitness already. Let's listen to the words of the one who was present when the crime was discovered. Someone who was there when the victim's body was found? So this is going to be another new character. Very well, witness, please take the stand. Black boots. What? Whoa, Simon, no. He's the witness? Witness, please state your name and the occupation. Wait, Athena's going to have to cross-examine Simon? Simon Blackwell, prosecutor. Prosecutor Blackwell? You didn't tell me you were going to take the stand. There simply wasn't time. What a shame, Prosecutor Blackwell. Had you shared the damning scene you witnessed beforehand with the defense, we could move this trial along and save the victim's soul that much faster. Damning scene? What in the world did Simon see? Whatever he has seen, it seems that... By the way, that's so interesting, by the way. Simon Blackwell knows he has damning information against... what's his name again? Bucky. Knows he has damning information against Bucky, but he doesn't believe that Bucky did it, so that's why he went to the Right Thing Agency. It's actually like a really interesting dynamic to know, like, he's like... I think, again, shows faith in the Right Thing Agency. To be like... I have such damning information, but I know he didn't do it. What's the best way to get him off this crime? I know. The Right Thing Agency. Prosecutor Samadi, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm. By all means. Oh my god. This is legitimately like Andre the Giant versus like Big John Studd or something. This is like Giant versus Giant of the courtroom, I feel like. This case involves rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art form to handle the case competently? By the way, I'm glad that Blackwell's like, being a bit cheeky with him as well. Are you implying that I'm not qualified for this case? Not yet. I'm simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic for now. It is the prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. I did some research on Rakugo last night, and I've grasped the overall idea of it. He's not fazed by Simon's questioning at all, by the way. Look at him. Not at all. Whereas if Simon questions me, I'm under the table, How could you possibly grasp it in a single night? So Blackwell has a lot of respect for the storytelling stuff. Again, because he knew these people, right? He knew these people. Rakugo is a form of entertaining storytelling that originated in the land of Japan. In it, the storytelling surges alone on stage with only a fan and a towel and the Rakugo artist tells a long, whimsical stories, giving each character a distinct voice. This traditional art was originally invented by monks to make sermons more interesting. So we just had a fade away, which means now you have to definitely just describe everything in detail, not just an overview. And I think that honestly showcases who Nayuta is. He's really efficient. He's someone who is really hard to go up against because he has so much information. He also has such a calm demeanor a lot of times that when we ever do get to see him do the slam on the table or him pulling on his beads, it does showcase to me it's a very well-earned victory for ourselves to get him even in that position. Because he is so calm. But even his calm demeanor now, he's just yeah, I'll just describe this to you too, because he is so efficient. He has so much information. He does so much research. He's really tough to go against for that reason. And even someone like Simon Blackwell, who questions him, is not put in his place, but countered perfectly here, to counter Simon Blackwell perfectly like this, that's a big task. Simon Blackwell was the character when we were up against him, that really felt like he was consistently a roadblock for us, consistently just stopping us in our tracks. So for someone to come up against him like this and actually come out a little bit smelling like roses, it's pretty telling. Are you satisfied? If not, I could explain the 12 types of endings to such stories. Oh my god. Or shall I perform the famous story of the Judge Jum Menu instead? And I genuinely believe that in Nayuta's mind, this is the bare minimum. It appears you have put in a bit of study. Your acknowledgement is most welcome, Prosecutor Blackwell. I can see why you're known for being quite thorough in your research, Prosecutor. Now, I'd love to see you perform that story you mentioned if you don't mind. Do we have time? If that is your Honor's request, he's gonna do it? Athena's no. Your Honor, can we please get back to the trial? Oh, right, of course. I nearly forgot. Seriously? Of all the things for you to forget? The trial itself? Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackwell, please tell this court what you witnessed. Man, this is a big deal. Such a big part of Athena's history as well. In her first case that she's truly alone. To be questioning Simon Blackwell, again, such a big part of her history, right? I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. Okay. I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went to the dressing room thereafter, only to come out storming out a while later. We have to press that. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Onedo, apparently then entered the room after. That's when Onedo discovered Master Tornado's body. So press the last tree at the very least? Right? Because there's not really anything we can present right now. Now wait just a minute here, Prosecutor Blackwell. With testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Wet of a crime. All I can do is state what I saw. I can't help how it appears. But a qualified and capable attorney, such as yourself, should be able to dispatch it with it, right? Well, yeah, duh. I love Athena so much. Because again, that's one of the cool things about Ace Attorney is all the lawyers you play as through all the Ace Attorney games have such a different way of speaking. But Athena kind of having that very young energy to be yeah, duh, what, of course, whatever, is actually a cool thing to see as well. All right, I guess I better start by getting all the info out of him I can. So was it press the last three statements at the very least? This is such an interesting dynamic. It's so interesting for like the person that kind of technically hired us is also the one that we're like cross-examining. So let's go for the last tree first. And again, it's one of those situations where I don't know what evidence we could present out of the stuff we have. We have barely anything. You know what I mean? So pressing is going to be our friend, for sure. Let's press this. Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time. Q and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and he entered the dressing room with his things. What happened after that? We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking for rather irate. This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. Horrible to think about, but a 20-year-old, you know, would have technically more strength than a 70-year-old. You know what I mean? I better come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast. And again, it's so normal for Athena to be sweating during this. I would be sweating during this. Apollo would be sweating during this. Master, yeah, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. Let's press this too. What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in? No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. Bakita was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all. I see. And why do you suppose Nedo went to the dressing room anyway? He just finished his routine, so he was making a courtesy call. A disciple is to pay their master respect right before and after each performance. And all disciples are expected to do this? Yes, it's common courtesy amongst Rakugo artists. I see. Could you tell us what happened after Unedo went to the dressing room? Certainly. So we didn't get much out of that. That's when Unedo discovered Master Tornado's body. Yeah, we'll press this as well. And how did it's Unedo act at the time? After Unedo had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream from inside the room, and Unedo came flying out. Did you hear any signs of a struggle at that time? No, just Unedo's woeful scream. I see. Simon had no reason to lie, but I also don't have much to go on. This is the thing. That's why the dynamic is so interesting. He's going to tell the exact truth, but he still wants us to pick it apart. Because if we can pick this apart, that means we can help out the situation, right? It's such an interesting dynamic, right? And it's not totally different to Emma. The way Emma will like tell the exact truth, but she wants us to be able to like overturn it. But in this case, it's like, you know, it's also the dynamic that Athena has with Simon, the history they have with each other from when she was a child, like all the stuff that goes into it. There's so much there that I feel like it's more of a personal trial than than even like, while it's a very professional trial, it's a big deal for Athena. It's also a very personal thing as well. She not only has to like cross-examine someone like that's really huge from her past, but also like that's someone that was a big thorn in her side for a long time too. And then also at the same time too, we're cross-examining, as we said, someone who wants us to cross-examine them. Someone that wants us to be able to pick holes in this. At least I think he would, because he would want, that's the reason he hired us, right? To save Bucky. I better ask all the questions I can. That's a very good way of saying press the other statements. They said press everything. Prosecutor Blackwell, what did you go to the theater for in the first place? I went because I received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Nado's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name Uendo 2. So what exactly does it mean to succeed the stage name? You really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits the predecessor's name. I see. So there was another Uendo Rakugo artist before, and its disciple succeeded him, huh? And what exactly did your invitation say? It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program. It appears Typho Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba using only his fan as a prop. Okay. I mean, like, there's loads of different arts all over the world as well. By the way, inheriting someone's name is actually a big thing in wrestling as well. So, like, I totally understand that it's like, there's like 4 tiger masks throughout time. If you count Tiger Mask W, then there's like 5 tiger masks. You inherit the name over time. There's Black Tiger as well. Yeah, it's just a very common thing. There's now like going to be a new Great Muda and all this stuff too. Like, it's a very common thing, I think, in performing arts as well, as we see here. And it was performed sober say, or sober gluten, a sober themed show I see. It seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your boldness. The first to perform was senior disciple Geru, followed by Unedo, and lastly Master Tornado. So the invitation Simon received from Master Tornado was to, what's the tornado? Like, it's tornado? What's the pun here? To show commemorating Unedo's, succession and promotion. Okay, I see. So that's why you happened to be at the Storytellers Theater yesterday. So what happened after you arrived? So there's one more statement. So I think that the way they said, like, I better ask all the questions I can was to press everything. So let's press this as well. And how did Mr. Tornado appear when you said hello to him? I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately we didn't actually meet. You didn't see him? Why not? Kiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait until the hall until he was done. You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room? Yes, not just me, but Giru as well. In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive around 4 p.m. Now you're just so calm. Well, he always is calm, but not always. Again, that's why I said you earn a victory when you get him a little bit flustered. Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado. I could tell because it was the time sober routine being performed in there. So that means the victim was killed sometimes after that. There we go. Okay, yeah. That was a direct hint to press everything. Well done, Prosecutor Blackwell. I love he's like complimenting because it actually was a very efficient, clear, and concise. And it was. It was very clear and concise. There was no tomfoolery. It was very clear and concise. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. And now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. Sure? It's a good way of doing it. While Prosecutor Blackwell and Giru were in the hallway waiting for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. He was heard shouting from a time inside the dressing room, and about 10 minutes later he came back out of the room, seeming rather angry. So this is like one of the biggest deals, is the motivation mixed with the frustration, right? The day he died was the day he had an argument with Wet, apparently, and that's going to look so bad. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Unedo Tornado went into the room. A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Unedo gave a scream and came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackwell and Gator ran to the room and saw the body themselves. Yeah, it's legitimately so hard because what we have is the last person that not that it was the last person in there, but the last time someone was seen going in there before Unedo went in there was Wet. He had an argument, he left, so there's motivation, there is a reasonable belief that he was the last one there at the moment, and there's also a argument. Very, 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 not damning completely, but like in this case, there is kind of like there is a reasonable suspicion to point towards Wet. At least to investigate him more, right? From my perspective. I'm not saying he did it. I'm saying that, like, I understand why they would suspect Wet. But they don't have any clear evidence, right? That's the problem. They don't have any, like, yet anyway. I know you're just going to be like, I found, this and this and that. But right now, we don't have any clear evidence that that's what has happened, right? We only have the circumstances. From the circumstances, it's quite clear the accused murdered the victim. I don't think it's clear. I think that, like, you could say there's not definitely reasonable suspicion that you could question him. That's what I would say. This is crucial testimony indeed. Simon's statement added to the court record. You know what I mean? I don't think it's completely damning. I think what it is like a avenue to explore more. I think that like he's like it makes sense why he's here, right? But I don't think that it's enough to damn him personally. The defense, an eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. Not conclusive. He's given very good, efficient testimony, but he hasn't said he saw him strangling him. Again, it's good motivation to explore this more, but that doesn't mean that he has done it, in my opinion. Why not let it all go now and allow the victim his last rites? And Naruto loves doing this as well. He loves being like, just let it go, bro. Be respectful. Not in your life. If Ineta went into the dressing room too and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? That's a good question. It's a good question. Ineta was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder. I was going to say 3 minutes, you can strangle someone in 3 minutes, I'd say. Haven't personally done it, but I imagine you could do it in 3 minutes. But when he said making no noise, yeah, if you're suffocating someone, chances are there's going to be a noise no matter how old you are. It depends on the suffocation, of course, because again, I'm not like, this is me being like an understatement. I'm not an expert in suffocation, but I'm like, I imagine they would make noise. Oh, Simon, why did you have to give that awful testimony? By awful testimony, what she means is, and I understand what she's saying, really clear, honest, very concise testimony. But to us, that means we have to fight against clear, concise, almost holeless testimony right now. But hopefully we'll find something. Prosecutor Blackwell, can't you give me something a little better to work with? I know she genuinely means like, hey, like, give me some more testimony. But it's like, come on, no, for old time's sake. Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? True. That's not wrong. I'm certainly willing to tell you all that I know. Yeah, but, dude, give as much information as possible too, though, right? So if you truly are as capable as you claim, then draw out what you need yourself. This is no time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackwell. Just admit you don't remember it all that well. He objected right away to us. Already? Already? Prosecutor Blackwell, watching you collude with the defense like this, I see that you are no prosecutor. I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. Wait, what? He's dismissing the witness? Begone, witness, you shall haunt the sacred hall no more. Oh no. How dare you treat me like some evil spirit? That's a big deal. He got what he needed from the testimony, and I was like, get out of here. But I feel like we should be able to question him a bit more, right? I'll remember this, you blackguard. Okay, he's gone. Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackwell. I've got this, and we know you got this. You got this. It's a big uphill battle, like every single trial has been so far, and I think it's been so crazy about Ace Attorney, because there are uphill battles before, but I feel like these have been the most, like, fighting against a wave, fighting against a giant is what we've been doing this whole game. And I feel like, you know, we become ready for it, even though it's not ready for it, but we become, like, more accustomed to it, but it's never going to be something that we're totally capable of understanding or doing or fighting against. I think there's still going to be, like, you know, trip-ups along the way and struggles. But that's going to end the video here, guys, for this episode of Ace Attorney. I love this Ace Attorney game so much, and I think the way they've, like, presented this game has been how do I say it? Like, it's a nice exhaustion. Does that make sense? Where I'm not exhausted in terms of, like, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's one of those situations where, like, I see Naruto on the stand, and I'm excited to go up against him, but I'm also like, oh god, here we go again. This guy. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a good sign of, like, an opposition that they've created against us, is that I'm looking at this other character across from us, and I'm like, oh man, I see him in the stands, I'm like, oh. That just showcases to me, like, they've created a character that is very, very, interesting to go up against and scary to go up against. I think that's what they want. They want him to be so efficient and so powerful. And I think it showcases this here too. Simon Blackwell is a character who would stop us in our tracks at every second. He would shut us up whenever he could. He was very forceful and dangerous and all this stuff in the courtroom. So for him to be like treated in such a way, I think it is the game trying to like once again show us like how much influence and how calm and collected and how judgmental in some ways Nayuta truly is. Nayuta, in a million years when I was going up against Blackwell, in a million years in the previous games, I would never have expected anybody to be able to talk to him like that or to dismiss him like that. I wouldn't even think the judge could do it. Right? Not the judge is some powerful character. He's like, he folds under pressure so easily. But to me, like, it definitely showcases to me how influential, how strong, and how forceful Nayuta is without actually even like, he's like so forceful without actually ever having to be like forceful. Like his presence alone is just like very, very powerful. And as we said, he knows how to lead a court. He knows how to like efficiently answer things, even if we don't agree with, we think he's wrong a lot of the times. He still efficiently answers in such efficient ways, which is obviously terrifying too. What we have here now with this trial is the return of Simon Blackwell. We have Athena going up against Nayuta. And I think it's actually a good idea to have all of the people go up against Nayuta. I just hope that people are nice to her as well. But I have faith that she'll win. She's very good. She's very, very good at what she does. And even though this is like a scary thing to be by herself, it's going to be such a fantastic lesson for her. I think it will be. Especially since she's the youngest lawyer in the Wright agency as well. That's the big deal as well. She's the youngest lawyer of the Wright agency. Like she's close. If you think she's closer to Trucy's age, I think, than she is to Apollo's age, which that's huge. You know what I mean? Trucy's a baby, and Athena's still a baby too, in my eyes. This is going to be an uphill battle. This is going to be a tough struggle. This is going to be a really tough situation. We have the dynamic back against, which I really like again with Blackwell being here. It was so shocking to see him, but then it fits like a glove. And I think that's like a really important thing for Athena's story, to win a trial against somebody and to go up against a trial against like someone so powerful, but also Blackwell being involved in the story too, as being such a big part of Athena's story already as well. I think it's going to be a huge motivator for her. And like I said, she wants to prove Blackwell wrong, but I think also at the same time too, she probably wants to prove something to Phoenix and Apollo. I think also at the same time too, she wants to hopefully prove something to herself, because she deserves to prove something to herself too, as well as proving it to like the other lawyers in the business as well. I don't want her to just sit here and be like, I'm gonna be the best ever because I want to prove it to Blackwell. That is a big motivator, because Athena is the type of character to be like, I'll show you, which I love that about her. But I hope she also like has some like self, I want to do this for me too, because she deserves to have it for herself as well. And just like when Apollo beat Nayuta, I'm going to cheer from the rooftops when she does. I really will. It's really honestly an interesting dynamic for a trial. It is. It's one of the most interesting dynamics for a trial ever. And we're going to see exactly where this goes in the future as well. I'm excited, but I'm nervous as well. I think that like we focus a lot on Apollo's journey, right? And we focus a lot on Phoenix's journey from the original trilogy as well. And there's a lot of emphasis on Apollo's journey and Trucy's backstory with the Gramarye and stuff like this as well. But another important character in the story is Athena. And I think when it comes to this is going to be a great trial for her to truly showcase what she can do, and also like get a spotlight shining directly on her for this game too, which again, we've had her in here as well, but I feel like, Trucy's definitely gotten the spotlight. Apollo's gotten a spotlight. Phoenix has gotten the spotlight. Maya's definitely gotten a spotlight. I'm glad that Athena's also getting a spotlight. If this is the last game in the saga, right? The 6-game saga. So to have everyone kind of get like the spotlight is super, super important to me. All we need is like Pearls to come back. And maybe Von Karma and Edgeworth. But I'm glad she's getting the spotlight because she deserves it too. Because again, she is a lawyer in the Wright agency.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
And who knows, maybe we'll see a cameo from Apollo as well. But I have confidence in Athena, I really do. I'm very happy with this dynamic, and I'm also happy she's getting the spotlight. And I'm rooting for her like crazy. I really, really am. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you for supporting me. My patrons at the highest tier, and my YouTube members at the highest tier, who are incredible people, incredible, awesome people who support this channel and keep this channel going. It's one of the reasons I can keep doing this is because of the Patreon that I can do this. So I want to say thank you to Ty Ferrer 2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, Felicius Felix, Yuled, Radish, Anusta, Yassassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasparian, Jerebian, Neo Showerite, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, Rorgama7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. I'll see you all so soon. Bye-bye.